Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for making your way here, checking out the series. You know what to do, right? Like what you see, what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week, new one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So it's a great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover the new ones. All the usual spots, including iTunes and Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, WFPK.org, YouTube for the video versions, or again, anywhere you get your podcasts from. Subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. And that's me, Kyle Meredith. Today, going to be talking with a pair of people. We're going to be talking with Wyatt Oleff and Sui Wonders. They're part of this ensemble cast behind the Apple TV Plus series called City on Fire. Now, City on Fire comes. It was a novel back in the I think it was the 2010s, like around 2015 or so, and it takes place in New York. Now, the novel took place in the 70s. This series spins the clock forward, but still 20 years ago, to the indie sleaze era of 2002, 2003 in New York City. What that means beyond the story, which is a bit of a whodunits, and it also tackles class, and it tackles queer relationships and addiction and race. It's also got a strong music lean to it as well. I mean, this is the era of the Yayas. You see clips of the Yayas on stage in this series. You hear LCD Sound System and The Strokes and Radiohead and all the other great bands of the era. So, of course, I get to talk music with all of these folks. And then, of course, we jump into the characters and how they ended up in the series. Now, Wyatt, you're going to remember from I Am Not Okay With This. He was also in both It movies and Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in that as well. Sui Wonders. She was just recently, actually simultaneously, she's in Bupkis right now too. And of course, a lot of people know her from Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So all that's to be discussed. Let's get into this. We're talking City on Fire. It's Kyle Meredith with Wyatt Oleff and Sui Wonders. Hello.
What's up?
Pleasure to meet you both. Congrats on the series, City on Fire. It's a gripping story. I held on. I didn't know who was going to be what the whole time. Beautifully acted. The easy congratulations at the start here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. By the way, you all have amazing chemistry. These characters have amazing chemistry together. I don't know, for actors, maybe if you're a good actor, that can happen at any point. But is there a little bit of surprise when it matches this well on the screen? I'll throw that whoever wants it.
I think, yeah, there's like an X factor. I feel like there's something that you can't really describe and you can't really like talk about too much. Like, you know, Wyatt and I had early conversations. When you first came to New York, we met up and, you know, we talked about the character, but like, it's not something that you can, I don't know. I think, you know, it is something you put in work too, but there is something just like a je ne sais quoi that you just kind of run with. If it's there, it's there.
Yeah. Yeah. It does work really well. Well, getting into the story, you know, everybody's dealing with so much in this series and there's so many storylines, but I started thinking about like what it takes for someone to fall into these situations. You know, Wyatt, for you, your character is coming out of therapy, maybe. Yeah. Vulnerability is a part of that, Chase. I mean, you seem like your character is just in over her head, but still sees time to take on this project, I think, as you call this. Totally. I mean, do you all think about that? Like how do they get in these situations? I know we don't get a lot of room for backstory beyond when it starts. Is that a part of the process?
Yeah, I think even though we don't see it so much in the show, I asked a lot about Charlie's backstory and where he comes from and what led him to this point in time and why we're watching him now of all times. Yeah, that's a good point though. I didn't realize that we didn't have that many we have a lot of flashback, but not flashback beyond like early 2003.
I feel like, I mean, just from Sam's point of view, like she does live like super fast and loose. And I think there is an element in all these characters, especially for me with Sam, like she is kind of an agent of chaos, and it's not an accident that she's attracted this chaos into her life. I mean, even by virtue of like plucking Charles like off the street from the record store, they find each other and they're like suddenly just like get like just like spending 24/7 with each other. There is like that doesn't happen on accident. I think there's like a spontaneity and like a curiosity that can sometimes be dangerous that exists in like both our characters. Yeah.
What for you, it's a bit of a coming of age story for your character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moments age-wise, maybe a little bit past it, but in a coming of age moment in your life.
Yes.
How does that play into the way that you play Charlie, if at all?
Yeah. I think what's so great about Charlie and the format of like a television show, an hour-long drama, is like this character arc that he goes through. I think his coming of age story is so well represented through his struggles that he goes through that we get to see in real time and see him overcome these things, with the inciting incident being Sam getting shot in Central Park, and him spiraling out of control and like losing his feet or losing his ground and trying to step back up and find his character and be confident in who he is, even without Sam's presence. And I think that was a lot of fun to play and very interesting. It's something I haven't really gotten to do before, is tackle a character in a long-term format.
It's a hell of a journey. You mentioned being shot. Sam is shot right at the beginning. Chase, does that change how you play the role, knowing like right from the beginning that bullet is headed towards you? Yeah,
I mean, I was talking about this earlier. I think like as an actor, you can't think like that. You can't think like, oh, and in the 24 hours I will have a bullet in my head. So how should I play this scene? Like, I think she is so spontaneous and chaotic that like you can't think like that. However, I think like from a holistic like storytelling point of view, again, it's that thing of like, there's a reason she ended up there. She is, attracting this chaos into her life. She is kind of not asking for it, but she's sniffing around. She's, in places that she probably shouldn't be. So I think, that's definitely part of the mentality.
Yeah. Some of that chaos, shrooms are a part of the story.
Yeah.
Now, there's a
crazy night.
Film. Yes.
I was gonna say there's a lot of actors who would, like, you see people on drugs or you see people on drugs and they're like, that's not how you act. But you all did it really well, like really well.
Yeah, no, we got there naturally.
Yeah.
No, actually, that
was weird.
We were like so in it for so many hours in the middle of like the East Village with like all these like crazily dressed extras like all around us that we felt like beautiful lights. We fully felt like in an altered state. Yeah,
it was very interesting. I've never like done something. It was very weird. I liked it. Like,
it was a trip. It was fully a trip.
It was fully a trip.
Natural.
Yes.
I was waiting for a little Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas moments to start happening at any point.
Oh yeah.
Which you could have. We do open in a record shop, and I'll play with this one a little bit. To both of you, what would you be buying? And not so much your character, what would you be buying?
Oh, personally?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'm a big Pink Floyd fan, so I would go Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here. Both of those would definitely be top of my list. Ants from Up There by Black Country New Road, Hellfire, Black Midi. You go to
that's a good that's a laundry list. I'd go like, I don't know, I feel like Sam honestly has influenced my music taste. I'd go like Gorillaz or like Moby or like Jean Michel Jarre or like something like that.
Now that was kind of what I was going to say. Now, how close are the real you with what the character you would have picked out?
I actually think Sam has influenced my music taste. Like, I listen to way more like rock and like classic. Like, I've been listening to like Strokes and like Julian Casablancas like nonstop since we stopped filming. So
Charlie definitely listens to Radiohead. So I've been getting into Radiohead a lot. There's one song off of Kid A, How to Disappear Completely, which like I hear it now and I will start crying because I associate it with him and his darkest moments. So it like kind of brings out this weird internal part of me that like kind of shelved Charlie, and like Charlie's still in there somewhere. And that song brings it back out and like has me crying. It's very strange, very strange.
It's a very powerful song. I've got the Kid A poster over the screen here. I know you can't see it, but I used to play that album to put my kid to sleep when he was a baby. Oddly,
Oh my
I don't know
God.
if that's what that's going to do to him. You know, now
It's
as he's
hard.
old.
Yeah, I mean, like we'll see. right?
Nightmares.
Does really well. Does really well. And you know, and see,
Thank you.
it is interesting though, because you have the music of the scene, and we're talking about the early odds. So of course we hear Radiohead, we see the yeahs, there's LCD, you know, the Stripes and all that, but it's different because that's not like why you're, you know, Charlie's in a Lou Reed t-shirt, and I think there's a Richard Hell t-shirt somewhere in there. And I know that the story originally took place in the 70s. I don't know. Was that part of the conversation? Like, how do we represent sort of that era a little bit as well?
I mean, I feel like it's like the way, you know, if you like Machine Gun Kelly now, you probably like the Strokes, or have a Strokes t-shirt. So it's that same thing of like, there was that nostalgia then for this music scene. Just like, you know, if we see rock stars now, like, yeah, I got a Strokes t-shirt. I got a Stooges t-shirt. Like, yeah.
Did you guys get to keep any of those clothes?
Yeah,
we stole some.
Yeah, we there was a few. There's this orange cardigan that I got like during a winter scene that I wear all the time, or these Charlie's Dickies I wear all the time. There were a few other ones I wanted to keep that they didn't let me keep, but that's okay. I'll go, you know, next time.
Season 2.
Season 2. Yeah.
Season
2. I keep loving everybody saying that, by the way. All the interviews I've done today, everybody goes season 2. Season 2.
Manifesting, you know, like we're trying.
One more thing about that era too, because and Chase, maybe I was hearing you in a different interview. You did bring up the no tech nostalgia.
Yeah.
First off, how much of this could have been solved with a text or GPS?
Everything
like that,
would not
like
be possible. Yeah, it would be done.
Yeah,
done.
Do you?
I would have. We would have seen each other in that record shop and been like, "Oh yeah, I've seen you on Instagram before.
Yeah.
Bye."
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Take care.
Do you all carry any of that with you? I mean, again, I know we're just acting in the script here, but sort of leaning into that no tech era. Do you all find that, or anything from the show like that, you kind of bring with you after the fact?
I mean, it definitely makes you hate your smartphone.
Yeah.
I think that's like the takeaway. I definitely want to get like Sam's little Nokia burner phone and just like live off that for a summer.
Yeah. Wyatt knows how to use a payphone now, so that's great.
Nice.
Really helpful skill to have in today's payphone climate.
You can read a subway map.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice moments there. Chase, also reading about you, I mean, it feels like you're writing maybe as much as acting, and because I think I was reading about you writing a TV script on the side right now too.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Yeah. Okay. Do you find that one impulse like takes over during the other, talking about writing and acting? Do you find those two worlds colliding very often?
I think it definitely helps. I feel like, definitely with writing, being able to act it out and just think about characters in that way. But yeah, I feel like, I'm always, looking for ways to make lines more natural and stuff, but with this one especially, like Josh and Stephanie are masters, and it's really you don't want to touch that gold. You don't want to taint that solution. Yeah. So I stay far away from changing too much in this one.
Chase is being humble. She would go on set and yell at everyone and be like, "I'm changing this line.
Yeah.
I know better."
My red pen.
Yes.
No.
You need a writing credit on all this. Wyatt, I also see you in so much right now. Stay Awake, the year between.
Yes.
What are you looking for in roles right now? Is that something specific? Because every one of these, there seems to be something special in, I say challenging, not easy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing those up. I am honestly looking more for great storytellers than I am just great characters to play. Like the projects that I got to work on, the people that I worked with, are all very passionate people who love storytelling and have these important stories to tell. And I love being a part of those. And on top of that, these are great characters I get to play. I'm not looking for anything in specific, but if these characters serve the greater like movement of the story, that's something I'm invested in doing. And yeah, for some reason they seem to be more challenging characters who cry a lot, which is great. But no, as an actor, it's like having these challenging roles really, it feels like it helps me grow and change my approach. And working with so many people broadens my horizons, my scope, and like that's what I love. That's a part of the reason why I began acting, was to just to tell stories and work with people who are passionate. And yeah, I'm very lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah, some great roles, and Chasey and Bupkis, by the way. Great seeing you over there as well. It looks like you're having fun sticking around New York for the roles, though. So that's got to be
great.
Convenient.
I've gotten so lucky in that sense. Yeah, that's
Working from home. I love seeing what both of you all do. Seriously, and City on Fire. I'm really, really hoping that Manifesting is a part of this for season 2, because I do want to see more of these characters. Thank you both so much for taking the time to talk about them.
Much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care, y'all. We'll see you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.